Hey my dudes, my name is Cecilia and welcome to my kitchen here in Stockholm, Sweden. Today is the 4th day of our 12 days of Christmas and we are making norska NÖTKAKOR. Norska NÖTKAKOR in Swedish means Norwegian nut cookies. It sounds a little weird because it is a little weird. These cookies come from my Swedish grandmother, which is why they have a Swedish name. But in Swedish, they say that they're Norwegian. So when I asked my grandmother, okay, but like, where did these cookies come from? Why are we making Norwegian nut cookies at Christmas? She was like, I don't know, we just make them. So I have no idea. And if you are Norwegian or Swedish, or whoever, but you've heard about these cookies or you've had something similar, write in the comments, let me know. The backstory has been totally lost to our family, but we call them Norwegian nut cookies. They are super hazelnutty, super delicious, and one of my favorite things to make at Christmas. So let's go make them.
The first thing we need to do is get the skin off of our hazelnuts. If you can buy skinless hazelnuts, great, do that, skip this step. Toast the hazelnuts lightly. Take a clean dish towel and pour the still hot hazelnuts onto it. Rub vigorously. I usually separate out the ones that are skinless and then keep rubbing. The ones at the end that are really stubborn, I rub with my hands, but even then sometimes the skin doesn't come off and I just put them to the side and use them with something else. Separate your hazelnuts into 130 grams for grinding and the rest for decoration. I have this handy nut grinder. I have a link for it in the description and seriously, I use it all the time. You won't be able to make good nut flour in the food processor. If you don't have a nut grinder and can't find somewhere to buy hazelnut flour, then you can substitute with almond flour. I find that my grinder usually eats about 5 to 10 grams of hazelnuts. We want 125 grams total. Once the hazelnuts are ground, separate 2 egg whites. Save the whites for later. Into a bowl, place 125 grams of butter, 150 grams of sugar, and 125 grams of ground hazelnut. Mix together. Add in the yolks. Mix together until totally combined. Add in 180 grams of flour. Mix together until a shaggy dough forms. Tip onto the counter and begin to knead together. We don't want any dry spots. If you're using a stand mixer, you can skip this step. Use a paddle attachment and just mix on slow until the dough is all together. Cut the dough into 2 equal halves. Roll the pieces into logs about 1 inch thick. Cut into equal size pieces. Now, I like when everything weighs exactly the same, so I scaled each cookie. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Just try to make them as even as possible. Roll into balls. Once all of your cookie balls are made, take a sheet tray lined with parchment, the pretty hazelnuts, and the egg white. Place the cookie balls on the tray. They don't spread out super much, so they can be fairly close to each other. Take a hazelnut, dip it in the egg white, and then push it into the middle of the dough. The egg white helps the hazelnut stick in the cookie. Bake at 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit until golden brown.
So cute. And the whole apartment smells like hazelnut. Like they smell good, they look good. I'm so excited about these. Yay. And in an effort to help them cool down faster, just gonna throw them off the pan and they should be ready to taste in just a couple minutes. All right, it's literally been like 2 minutes. I don't care, I'm gonna try one anyways because I can't wait any longer. So hazelnutty. These are unbelievably good. They're so good. These are one of my favorite cookies like on this planet. This is also a really fun cookie to like manipulate. So you can do this with presumably almost any nut. Like doing this the exact same way but with pecan instead would be like a pecan flour and then the pecan on top. That would be great. I have done this with almonds, so using almond flour instead of the ground hazelnuts and then putting an almond on top. Those are super, super good as well. I would assume if you can afford it, if you want to spend the money, that pistachios also would be so delicious this way. And besides the whole taking the skins off and grinding thing, like really such a simple, easy cookie. If you can like find somewhere at the grocery store, like hazelnut flour ready-made, or like if you wanted to switch this out and use almond flour, like they really are super easy. But that nut grinder is super clutch, and I have now done in this last year at least 4 or 5 different recipes that use that nut grinder. So I really use it all the time. I know it seems like a really specialized tool that like you don't want to spend money on, but like it is surprisingly useful. I use it all the time in desserts and stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this week's video, then please like and subscribe. And I hope that you have a great week and happy holidays. Hej då!